So this commenter is trying to say, I think in season 1, that the responsibility was on Belly. That if she still had feelings for Conrad, then she shouldn't have kissed Jeremiah in the pool. At least that's what I think that this commenter is referring to as season 1. However, in my opinion, the burden of responsibility needs to be determined when you look at the power dynamics in a given situation. And in my strong opinion, throughout this story, I think the constant theme and messages is that knowledge and information is power. And the character who seems to consistently be given the privilege of knowledge or important pivotal information that would change the entire trajectory of the story is Jeremiah. Over and over and over again throughout this story, to the point where it's become a joke on the internet, we see Jeremiah visibly see and clearly hear information that changes everything. So the power dynamics of this situation of Belly and Jeremiah in the pool, Jeremiah is the one with the power. Jeremiah is the one who should have known better than to kiss Belly. Because number one, he knew that she wanted Conrad. And he knew that Conrad also wanted her. In this moment, Belly was extremely vulnerable. She was extremely broken. And yes, it is a pattern with really toxic or manipulative people. They will pounce on somebody when they are feeling their most broken. In arguments, they will tear a person down to get them to that state where they are feeling broken, insecure, and vulnerable, because you have more influence when someone is not feeling their best, when someone is broken down, when someone's totally insecure. And what did he say to her in that moment? He knew that she felt unchosen by Conrad, and she'd been waiting all of these years for a chance with him. And he said to her, I'm the one who's been waiting for you all this time. He makes her feel with that statement like he'd been waiting for her for a long time, but he clarifies with us that it was really only until that summer that he was interested in her. And even then, he hooked up with 7 people that summer, and the night of the bonfire had an opportunity to be with her and completely abandoned her. Again, in a moment when she was feeling vulnerable to go and be off with 2 other girls. So in this moment, when Belly was feeling insecure, that insecurity really made her question if Conrad actually wanted her or ever wanted her because of what had happened that afternoon. Belly doesn't know better because of everything that's just happened to her, but Jeremiah does know better. He knows better. He knows what would make Belly the happiest, and he knows what would make Conrad the happiest. And yet in this moment, he still chooses his happiness before everyone else's. And if he really cared about Belly's if he really believed he would make Belly the happiest, then why did he need to almost blow her up the night before and spend all day sabotaging Conrad to get her? That's not the right way. That is the definition of manipulation. I'm sorry, but the entire day was Jeremiah being manipulative. And that smirk, that smile on his face at the end of the day when he found out that everything had worked the way that he wanted it to, and that Nicole was going to take Conrad to Yarmouth and Conrad was successfully distracted. Conrad's actions aside, you cannot deny Jeremiah was trying desperately all day long to be as manipulative as he could be. The smirk at the end of the day, contrasting with the frown on his face when he finally saw that his brother was the happiest he's been all summer, he knows better. He has more information in this situation than Belly does, and he's using it for his own advantage. He's not using it for Belly's happiness. He's using it for his own happiness. And that's why he's such a jerk. And that's why it's so mean. It is so cruel and it's so manipulative. Because if he really did have her best interest at heart, he would not have gone to her that night when she was the most vulnerable that she'd been probably than at any point of the summer. She got her hopes up so high from the night before. He was the one who ruined that moment the night before. He ruined it. He psyched both of them out. And yes, Conrad's actions are his own actions, but Jeremiah's actions are Jeremiah's actions. And they were cruel. And they took that moment away from this girl that he claims to love and claims to care about. So he completely knows how Conrad feels about Belly. And he also knows that in this moment, Belly is feeling particularly vulnerable. And that's when he moves in. And that's when he says what he says. He had every opportunity at any other point of the summer to say these things, but the timing of it, his actions the night before, his actions the entire day, the disappointment he had earlier that morning, the frown on his face when his brother was finally happy after he's clearly been upset all summer long, the smile, the smirk on his face when he sees that his brother is unhappy later that afternoon. Jeremiah is the definition of manipulative, and no, it wasn't on Belly in this moment. Her heart was broken, and she trusted him, but all of his actions should clearly show us as the audience she should not have trusted him. He was awful. He ruined everything, and then acted like the victim when it all went not according to his plan. He's disgusting.